Hey guys, what's up? And today, this is gonna be a new segment for our channel, and it's kind of strange, I know, but hear me out. I love traveling, okay? Although I'm not an expert in traveling, nor am I an expert. I look weird. Nor am I an expert in geography and stuff, but I really like traveling. Come on, who doesn't? Who doesn't want to travel around the world, right? So, since I had been to a fair amount of countries, for a 15-year-old. Am I 15 years old? I think I am. Right, I'm 15 years old. Um, yeah, I think I've been to a sufficient amount of countries. Let's say sufficient. Not too many though. I haven't been to a lot of countries in Europe. So today I'm gonna talk about my experience in France, basically. However, I just want to share what happened during my stay and my visit in France, and there's one problem though, and that is I went to France and Italy like 5 years ago or six. It was 2013. So it's a very long time ago, and it's hard to remember a lot of these events. So however, I did bring a camera over there and filmed 2.5 hours of documentary over there. It's my own little thing. I took a lot of pictures and shot a lot of videos and edited them into a 2.5 hour long documentary documenting my trip at France and Italy. Yeah, that being said, after France, I immediately went to Italy, so it's supposed to be together, but I'm just talking about France. I'm thinking that this yogurt has turned bad, because, I don't know, it's weird. So, I'm not an expert in France either. I haven't been to like a lot of cities in France. I've been to Paris or Paris. I've been to Orleans. I don't know how do you pronounce it. Orleans, I think, for one day. Paris for 1 week. Biarritz. It sounds ridiculous when I say it. Biarritz for 1 week. But in which for one of the days in that 1 week, it's technically not Biarritz because I've also been to Bayonne for 1 day, and also Espelette for half a day. It's like a little town, a little east of Biarritz. So yeah, so when I go there, we arrived at the Charles de Gaulle airport. I'm reading from the itinerary. Yeah, that's itinerary for my France trip. And it's kind of funny because they never really made an Excel, a spreadsheet, a table of itinerary. I made it by myself by checking my own photos and videos and finding the locations back on Google Map. So it took me quite some time. But yeah, Charles de Gaulle Airport. And then we didn't go to Paris at first. We went directly to the domestic airport, and we were supposed to take a flight to Biarritz. But we were late. So we took a flight to Bordeaux or Bordeaux. I don't know. I suck at French. Bordeaux, and from Bordeaux, we took a bus to Biarritz, and that's where we stayed for 1 week. Now, what is the we that I'm referring to? Right. Shit. Okay, it's gonna be complicated, so long story short, my uncle and aunt organized this trip to France, and Italy is, like, it's not supposed to be in the schedule, if you know what I mean. But here's the thing. So my uncle is the boss of this music company, okay? So there are students that learn music over there in this place. So my aunt is also a very musical person. So they both invited like almost most of their students onto this trip, and which means it's about 50, not that much, not that many. I think 40 something students plus their parents get to go to France with my uncle, my aunt, and my cousins, and we are invited as well. Me and my family, we all went to France, and then we went to France for 2 weeks. The first week is to learn music at Biarritz, and the second week is to go places in Paris. And then after that, goodbye. And after that, all the students will return to Hong Kong, while my family and my aunt's family, my cousin's family, and a couple other close friends will stay behind, because we will go to Italy, and we will actually travel there. And that's why in France, it wasn't as pleasant of an experience as that of Italy, because in Italy I feel way more relaxed. Yeah, but yeah, the first week we were at the very southwest of France, and that is Biarritz. We didn't go to anywhere that insane in Biarritz. We went to this music academy, and there's this resort thing that's really beautiful. A lot of trees and a lot of flowers. I guess I can say that to like every place I visit in the world. A lot of trees and a lot of flowers, a lot of vegetation. Because here in Hong Kong there are not much vegetation. Yeah. But yeah, really cool resort. Sun goes down around 9 p.m. and that's really strange, because when we were having dinner, the sun's still up, and that's really strange, okay? Like, usually the sun's down while we have dinner, but whatever. And, yeah, it's a lot of fun, and at this resort place, I don't know if I should tell you the address of this resort. I do have the address, but, at night we all get to go to this place, like a disco place, for fun, and to watch performance. It's really weird, but it's also kind of fun. And then around the 7th day, oh yeah, from day 1 to day 5, dinner, we still have dinner in the resort, but for the first night, yeah, wait, no, or is it the second? So at the second night of this France trip, we went to the seaside of Biarritz, where there was a lighthouse nearby, but we never really went there. We went to a place called Place Saint Eugene, and it's a really cool place. Go there. That's all I can tell you. And France, like, France feels like a shopping mall, but it's outdoors. That's how I describe it, because everywhere is just shops. And most buildings that I see in France, most structures, they're all pastel brown. Yeah. And Italy is reddish brown. It's different. Different countries have different colors, okay? And then we went to Bayonne, which is a crazy thing because on that day it was actually a festival, like Festive de Bayonne, du Bayonne, or something like that. And everyone wore like white and red clothes, and everyone were parading at the streets. It's crazy. And then, like, it's super crowded, it's super loud. like like we were at Bayonne, and there's this bridge across the river, and like it's packed with people. And I had some fun. And then on the 8th day we went to Espelette, where we visit Atelier du Piment, which means a farm, chili farm. I think piment, whatever, piment chili, Atelier du Piment, chili farm. And then what's more important is Chocolaterie Anton. I'm butchering French, but chocolate shop. And it wouldn't be a complete trip without actually going to a chocolate shop. You need to go to a chocolate shop every time you go to a foreign country. So it's a pretty nice, like countryside place. But again, we never really did go to anywhere important down in the southwest of France. So yeah. Next time I go to France, I want to go to Nantes and Lyon. Yeah, and Monaco, which is not France, by the way. It's another country. A very small one as well. On the 9th day of the entire trip, the first day I'm still at Hong Kong, okay? Like, the first day of my trip, I haven't still arrived in France. I'm still on the plane. So the 9th day is more like the 8th day of being in France, but the 9th day of the trip, if you know what I mean. And we finally arrived in Paris, and the first thing, again, this trip is organized by my uncle and my aunt, so it's not up to me, but the first thing we did in Paris, the first meal, we went to the 13th arrondissement, aka Chinatown. And what's even more ridiculous is we had Vietnamese noodles in Chinatown for the first meal in Paris. I don't know why. Sure, why not? It's really weird. What does the Chinatown look like? Anyway, after going to Chinatown for our first meal in Paris, we went to a Pullman hotel. Yeah. Pullman hotel north of the river, east of Paris, directly beside a village called Bercy Village. And I think we had our first dinner in Paris in Bercy Village, and we had crepes. Yep. And it's a pretty nice first dinner in Paris, I guess. But I think my first meal in France overall is that big chocolate macaron. That's about the size of not a burger, but would it be ridiculous if a macaron has the size of a burger? No, but it's quite big. I don't know. It's about this big. On the second day, we went to Versailles, which is one of the largest, palaces in France. One of the more famous ones as well. And there are a lot of tourists. Queuing up to enter the Versailles took an hour and a half, because there are so many tourists outside the gate. It was like a snake. It was like a snake of tourists. So we had to queue up for an hour and a half. And then we went in. We went into like the palace itself. It was mostly like museums of like paintings and exhibitions about, you know, history of France, history of Paris, you know, Louis 14, 15, things like that. And Hall of Mirror, the most famous room, we went there as well. Pretty cool. We went to that hallway where there were a lot of sculptures. That's also pretty cool. The king's bedroom, queen's bedroom, we went there as well. The beds are really, I guess, I don't know. I don't know. I was really young when I go there. And then we went outside of Versailles to the garden, which is like Versailles, the palace itself, is already really big. The garden is like 5 times bigger, or 6, and it's full of like different sections and stuff. And there's this fountain at the middle. I don't know how, but I was wearing like Crocs. Like, was I wearing Crocs? I remember accidentally dropping my shoe into the fountain or something. I don't know if that's a correct memory or not. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I don't know. And then after that, we went to like we, we went to like a farmland to pick apples, but there were no apples. And then we went to another place by the river where we could take a boat ride along the the river, and it was sunset. It was actually very beautiful that night. Like we were taking a boat ride along Seine, and the sun was setting, and we went like under a lot of bridges, and I was really young back then, so I was like I'm just gonna admit it, I was counting the number of bridges that we had went under. So I think it was like 27 or something, and then at the end, when the sky is fully dark, the Eiffel Tower starts to blink and glisten. How do you actually pronounce that? Glisten. Like it starts to blink, like lights were blinking on the Eiffel Tower. It was quite beautiful, to be honest. And I forgot what we did on that night. I think we did nothing. I think that's it. And it was raining. Yeah, it was raining that night. Jeez. And then we went back to Pullman Hotel. Oh yeah, and then we had dinner. Where did we have dinner? I think Bercy Village. Alright. So, since I have free time right now, I might as well talk a little more on my journey at Paris. So, more like my journey in France, what I did over there. So I've been in France for 2 weeks. The first week I'm at Biarritz, and I went to Bayonne as well. And for the second week, it's all Paris. It's all Paris. And okay. So I think I've covered the Palace of Versailles last time. It's a pretty cool palace, but I mean, it's not epic or something. And so is the Eiffel Tower. In fact, I think the Eiffel Tower is a little overrated because I mean, first of all, it's kind of expensive, but the view is really nice up there, and it's really windy up there. Like I mean, it feels good to be up there. But I mean, it's just for the views, man. It's just for the scenery, nothing else. What really shocks me, however, what really surprises me is Louvre, the one and only, the top-notch art museum in the world, Louvre. Louvre, it really surprises me. I didn't have much expectation when I went there. I know that it is a very famous art museum, and that's it. But wow, like, Louvre is really damn amazing. I'm not talking about Mona Lisa and stuff. I mean, Mona Lisa is cool, but in that room, in the Mona Lisa room, there were like 50 people around that painting taking photos. And I was at the back, and I had my uncle raise me up in order to take one picture. By the way, I was really young back then, so I can be easily risen up, I suppose. But yeah, there are also a lot of cool paintings in the Louvre. Check out I don't know what painting is it, but I can just check it right now. Like, there's this guy, a prophet something, and he was doing this, and then on the tip of the finger is a cross, a little cross. That one's really cool. I've been to the parts in Louvre where it has less tourists as well. There are a lot of rooms in Louvre. It's so big. I love the parts where there are, stuffs on the ceiling, paintings on the ceiling. I think that's pretty cool. There's also a painting where a person, like two-person, were playing cards, and one of them were hiding some cards in the back, cheating. That one's really cool. Cross on finger painting. Here we go, Saint John the Baptist. That is a really good painting. Yeah. There's a cross like hidden over there, and yeah. So yeah, Saint John the Baptist. There's also a painting in Louvre where they were playing cards. I don't know which one was it. And then there's also a painting, Napoleon. That one is really cool as well. And after Louvre, I can show you the videos I took in Louvre. It's really cool. I like Louvre. And then after that, we had another dinner in Bercy. So on our 12th day in Europe, we went to Musée d'Orsay for a starter. That is the museum where a lot of the Van Gogh stuff is in there. I think Musée d'Orsay. Yeah, Musée d'Orsay is another very famous art museum in Paris, and originally it's a train station. So it's kind of like a long tube, but now it's an art museum. It's pretty cool. And then there's a room in there where it's the clock, and that's really cool. But I can't take videos over there. It's rare, but you can't take videos. Of course, you can't take photos, and you can't even take videos over there. So yeah, what a shame. Next, we went to Musée du Rodin, or Rodin. I don't know, but this is where the thinker is, the thinker, the statue, the thinker. It's in that museum. It's really cool. Most of it's outdoors. The thinker is outdoors. There's a park with all sorts of other weird statues. And then there is also the indoors part where other statues were there. Afternoon, we went to... Again, I suck at French. Sorry if I pronounce it wrong, but Sacré-Cœur. And it's a cathedral north of Paris, Sacré-Cœur. Really cool. And then I had dinner in the same village again. Yep. Day 13, we didn't go anywhere. Again, I'm not the person who planned our trip, our schedule, so, yeah. But we went to the 7th arrondissement, right? 7th arrondissement. And, wait. Yeah, it should be... Okay, maybe not. But we went to a Rue de Rome. Rue de Rome in Paris. And there were a couple of shops over there that sells a lot of musical note sheets. And, we were traveling to France as a musical organization, so that makes sense. And then my cousins went to Arc de Triomphe. Of course, I did not, because I was pretty sick. Yeah, so that's day 13. Day 14, we went to Notre Dame. The famous cathedral in Paris, really cool. You can also take photos over there. We took the subway on that day, and the subway is really dirty, kind of crowded, but not as crowded as the subway in Hong Kong. If you go to Hong Kong, the subway, it's insane, especially afternoon, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. Subway's flooded with human beings. After visiting Notre Dame, we went to, we stayed at the hotel again. Day 15, we went to Orléans, or however you pronounce it. Let's just search it. How to pronounce Orléans?
Orleans.
Okay, that's how. So yeah. Anyway, I've been to Orléans.
Orleans.
Yeah, we went to the Orléans Cathedral, in Place Sainte-Croix. We went to the Central Radiologique de la Place d'Arc. We also walk for a few streets. We went to a little flute shop, which is ran by my uncle's friends. Really cool. And we went to Le Brim de Zinc, which is a restaurant. Really cool. And then we went to Italy. So yeah. So France overall, I mean, when I went to France, I didn't expect it to be, a super beautiful romantic country or anything. So the country didn't let me down. But if you go to France thinking that it's going to be really romantic, really beautiful, well, you're gonna be a bit let down, I suppose. Especially Paris. Paris is actually a really dirty, touristy city, and it is flooded with people other than the French locals. But there are also a lot of cool places in Paris you should definitely go to. On the way to Notre Dame, we went to this bridge where there were a lot of locks on the bridge. I think that was also pretty cool. The river Seine is really good. The Eiffel Tower at night is actually really beautiful. One place, the best place to go to in Paris is definitely Louvre. I would also really recommend Versailles. But it takes a lot of time. But yeah. And France, it's really hot over there. It's unexpectedly hot. Like, I went there in summer, okay? But it's actually not that cold of a place. It's actually pretty damn hot. Instead, Italy feels colder than France. I don't know if it's because of the Mediterranean Sea. The whole onshore offshore wind, the monsoon wind. I don't know geography, so but I'm speculating that it might be the wind from the Mediterranean Sea that's causing Italy to be such a windy, cool place. But France is pretty hot, not gonna lie. But France, the view is actually really amazing. If you look up from above, it's all buildings. I don't know, just watch Inception. That scene where the whole Paris folds in half. All these buildings look like these little pastel brown puzzles, I suppose. Next time I go to France, I'll definitely go to Lyon or Reims or Reims, Le Mans. I really want to go there as well. Nantes, definitely. Nantes. Montpellier as well. Toulouse. I don't know how to pronounce that. Monaco as well. Next time I'll go to France, I'll also go to Monaco. But yeah, Paris feels really crowded, but it isn't a super ugly, dirty place. But if you truly want to experience France and its cultures, its local culture, don't just go to Paris. Go to Lyon. Go to the Wild West. Actually, if you want to go to like more natural country places, go to the east. But also go to the south as well. I forgot to mention this, but I've also been to Saint Jean de Luz, and it is near the border between Spain and France, and that place is really amazing. It looked like the end of the world, uh, you know, because there's really nothing. Like, there's this road, and then there's the slope, and if you look up, it looks like nothing over there, but it's actually Spain over there. So that's pretty cool. And the food over there is not bad, I suppose, but to be fair, 10% of the meal I had in France were also non-French. So I ate Chinese food once and Vietnamese food once in France. But try out the crepes and try out the dessert. It's really good over there. Don't just try out the croissant. Subway is pretty dirty. Don't take the subway all the time, but it's worth it to take the subway at least once. Try other different methods of transportation. Walking is the best. Walking in Paris, get lost in Paris. It's totally a good idea. You should totally do that. No, get lost in Rome. Rome is the best place to get lost to, inside. Because every corner you turn, there's something like monumental. But yeah, overall, Paris is maybe a little overrated, but it's still not a bad city, not at all. Yeah. So if you want to go to France, tell me where you want to go to. If you have been to France, tell me what your experience is like. And if you want me to go somewhere, I'll tell you if I'll go there. Because I'll also be going to Europe this summer. Cheers.